All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna stay on long tonight because we actually have in about 45 minutes a QVC Dooney and Bourke presentation, and I want to check that out just to see if they're going to launch anything new, since it will be considered kind of a primetime show. The other thing that I need to do is catch up on some email. So I'm planning to do that while I'm actually watching the QVC presentation. Hi, Pauline. So one of the things I was doing today is scrolling through Dooney and Bourke. I've done it. Hi, Roslyn. I've been on my phone. I've been on QVC. I've been on I Love Dooney, and I'm just trying to stay fresh so that I can see what's new, and trying not to buy anything before our meet and greet in Chicago at the end of next month. And that is proving to be difficult for me, but it's making me go back, look at the things that I have, try to figure out what do I really not have in my collection that I would target from a purchase standpoint next month while we're in Chicago. So one of the bags that caught my attention is the Emerson North-South Reese bag. Now, I know I've said that I don't do well with North-South bags because they appear to cave in on the side like the Riley Roxy bag did. But I just want to show you this bag really quick because I don't believe it was on their site when I did my What's New This Season video a few weeks back. So it's a bit of a feel bag. It has, if you recall, I think it was called the Happy bag. It has that feel to it, but it has a shoulder strap. I'm going to see if I can get it pulled up in a brighter color just so you can maybe see it a little bit better. So that is the Emerson North-South Reese bag. Now, a couple things for me about Emerson. The first is the inside of the bags are in the same colored leather as the bag. And I like that, and I don't think it's going to be a problem for me, with one exception. I don't like the inside of my bags to be, I don't want my bags to be black holes. And what I noticed is that with like the dark navy, with the black, the inside of some of these bags have the black wall lining, and the only color that they have in the inside is the pocket and the flap underneath the top of the bag. So if you're looking for, if the interior color of your bag doesn't bother you, and if you're okay with it being all dark, right? So if you're not a fan of the red or the gingham or the pink or the blue or the yellow or some of these other pops of color that Dooney has had in the interior lining of their bags, then the Emerson collection will absolutely give you some more of those darker bag options. Now, the dimensions on this bag, let me see if I can pull those up. It is 10.5 high, 4 wide, and 10.5 long. It has one inside pocket. It has an adjustable shoulder strap with a strap drop of 11 inches, which is just like perfect. That's longer than the Barlow series has on it. And then it says it has the new custom Italian hook and loop closure. So I'm really loving this collection, North-South. I need to see it in person. But given that it has that profile of like a happy bag, a feel bag, a saddle bag, I decided to go back into my collection to see if I have anything that might have that similar silhouette. I have a Alto bag that has a similar silhouette, but I couldn't find it in time to dig it out. That's why I was late signing in and trying to get everything signed. I couldn't find it. But from a style standpoint, this, I believe, would kind of be the East-West version of the Reese bag. Now, this has pockets on the outside, on the front, under the flap here. You've seen this in my favorites before. It has this on the back. It's getting a nice patina to it. But just from a silhouette standpoint, if you kind of take a look at that side angle for this one, it made me think of this bag, which is a favorite of mine. So that's pretty cool. Again, I think we're seeing some of the older bags take on new colors and being released in new kinds of leather, maybe the lock closure being changed. So I think those are a few things that we're finding that may have similar characteristics from bags in the past. Now, another bag that I really like is the Florentine domed satchel. And I think this bag is the reason that I've not been able to truly embrace the zip satchel, because I have this. And believe it or not, this is in Tomorrow Brown. And I've had this one for a while. I also, believe it or not, have it in black. Yes, I have it in black. And I've actually carried the black one far more than I've ever thought about carrying the Tomorrow Brown. So much, in fact, that it still has the tag on it. This bag, for me, is a medium, right? It's kind of a small, medium-sized bag. It has the dome top. It has the double zip here. And to me, this is kind of my version of the zip. And I know that I have to scale back the contents of my bag whenever I'm carrying this size bag. And I couldn't find the black one, but I know it's in there somewhere. They're usually side by side, but I've carried it not too long ago. Can you believe that? Which means it's probably not in there at all. It's probably somewhere in the house waiting to be put back in the dust cover. But this is the Florentine domed satchel, and I've had this for years, and believe it or not, purchased this in Chicago at the Dooney outlet during my very first visit to the Chicago premium outlets. I purchased this one, and black one, and a couple of other bags. This bag has the crest, so I know that the crest may seem new to some of you, or maybe you've joined Dooney and Bourke, the following of Dooney and Bourke, after the crescent was released. But this is just kind of a revisit to an old embossing that Dooney has used before, along with the leather hang tag and then the leather embossing here on the front. So that is the domed satchel, and that is in Florentine. She's not as smooth. You can definitely tell she's got some even pebbling all the way around her. And I just love the sound of that leather. So this is my version of the zip. And again, for size reasons, that's the reason that I've not added a zip into my collection. And then the last bag that I want to show tonight, I have a few of them, but this one made me think, from a color standpoint, really made me think of Mrs. Q and the Omega Sci-Fi Fraternity. So I decided to pull this one out because the Purse Fairy actually gifted one of these to her. And this is like there's a small, a medium, and a large. And the large is really large. And it is the large pocket sack. So I've had this one forever as well. Still packaged. I've not carried this one. I do have it in red. And I carried it also in, I want to say yellow I have. So there's that one with the plate here on the front. The double pockets, very similar to the saddlebag that I showed you earlier. It has the wonderful Dooney strap that we all seem to really, really like and enjoy. No pockets on the back, no feet on the bottom, but it has tons of storage space in the interior. Let's see, I got this bag in 2010, in January of 2010. So it has been around for a very, very long time. There's your leather key keeper. And this actually has gold hardware on it. Standard Dooney setup, but it does have the gingham lining. Let's take some of that out. And it's just a big drop bag. So that is it as far as bags that I wanted to share. I'm actually trying to figure out what I'm going to switch into for this week. I've been carrying a Montecantini bag for the last 2 weeks. It needs to be cleaned out at this point. And if I'm going to go through my bag contents, then I might as well go ahead and do a swap. So the last thing is just a reminder of our meet and greet at the end of next month. We have quite a few people that have registered and said that they're coming. I've spoken with several of you either in direct message or via text message or on the phone. And I know that we have people flying in, driving in from Ohio, from Florida, from Georgia. We have Michigan. Some folks local to the Chicagoland area will be there. I've spoken to a couple of people that are considering flying in from California, and they're just looking for red-eye flights from a pricing standpoint. So if you were on the fence, let me just tell you, you're going to miss a big fun event. We have been working on some stuff behind the scenes. I don't want to give anything away, but for those that actually are planning to participate, I think it's going to be a better event and a much nicer event than maybe what you've seen posted here on YouTube from some of the other brands. Now, I'm hoping that that doesn't come back to bite me in the butt, but we really are working on doing some things that will make it more than just a group of Dooney addicts meeting and shopping together. So working on that. And then one of the ladies here on YouTube, if you've not been over to check out her channel, Says What, I would ask that you, as soon as this live chat is over, go check her out. She has made arrangements for us to have a party bus so that we can actually travel together from the hotel property out to the outlet. We'll have the party bus experience all day. So as you shop, and if you need some place to go drop your bags back off, the bus will be parked on site so that you have access to go drop your bags, and they be secured on the bus with the driver. So that's a nice addition that we weren't initially thinking about, but thanks to her and her diligence and work, she has coordinated that for the first 20 to 24 people. Of course, buses, depending on body size, will dictate how many people you can actually get on. But the first, let's just say 20 people that enroll, and we're almost at that number now, will not have to worry about transportation from the hotel out to the outlet. So if you were thinking about renting a car or taking into consideration the cost of parking in Chicago, which is absolutely ridiculous, then you won't have to worry about that. If you take a taxi or a shuttle or an Uber from the airport over to the hotel property, Saturday transportation out to the outlets has been taken care of by Says What. So it has just been wonderful since Joshi, Ivana, and I have been working through the logistics of, how to pull this thing off. It just feels good that there have been other YouTubers that have reached out to us in support of this event, willing to make different contributions of different kinds to make it successful. So I don't want you to think that it's just the three of us. There will be several YouTubers, and if you are a devout Dooney and Bourke follower on YouTube, then these will absolutely be names that you recognize. They will be people that you recognize. So the three of us are pulling it together, but it is not just the three of our efforts that will make this thing happen. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. Hey, listen, don't forget, even if you're local to the Chicago area and you're planning to drop in, there's a registration link that will be included in the info box when the replay of this live stream is posted. Make sure that you register, because head count for us is proving to be really important as we work on some other things. So please, 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 we're great with you just dropping in, but for all of the things that we have kind of brewing in the background, a head count is going to be extremely important for us. So it's almost 6:30. I have some work that I need to go do. I want to get ready for the 7 p.m. Eastern QVC presentation of Dooney and Bourke. I am going to put my credit card away and not buy anything, because I'm really, really trying to hold off until the meet and greet so that we can all shop together. And if my best bud, YouTube BFF shopping partner Pauline continues to help me, then I won't purchase anything tonight when I'm watching the queue. I've noticed that just putting things in my shopping cart helps to curve that, and if I just never hit checkout, then I should be okay. So that's all I have this evening. I'm enjoying this last little bit of cool weather here in Georgia, because once it gets hot, it gets hot. And I'd rather not have like the lizards on the porch when I get home and running across the back deck, giving me an opportunity to enjoy just the last little bit of cool weather. Once I know that it will be bad, send the snow my way. I'll take another couple of days of snow, and I know for those of you that have it, you're like, take it. But I'd love to have a couple more days of snow here in Georgia. That's code for me for work from home days or non-travel days. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. So that's all I have. Make sure that you check the info box, register for the event. We are really working hard to make this a special event, and one that will make other brand followers look at our meet and greet and say, wait a minute, that's the way a meet and greet is actually supposed to go. So thank you so very much for watching. Let me just real quick, let me take a look at the comments before I sign off. Make sure I've not omitted anything or anyone. Who let Joshi in? Yeah, so Vader, so I don't know what's going on. I know that Dooney is probably getting ready to do like maybe a summer lookbook, but they are slowly adding things onto the site that were not there a few weeks ago with what was new this season. And I know that, you know, first releases a collection, you can't have every single color. But I think right now the Emerson collection consists of like black, tan, the Caribbean blue, white, navy. Did I already see? Yeah, and geranium. That's it. So I'd like to see a bit more variety in colors, because even if there are a couple of bags that you are interested in from this collection, your color choices are just very, very limited right now. So that's one thing that I'm hoping they will switch up for the summer, is to give us a few more color options. Let's see. The other thing, did you notice that during yesterday's presentation, the Montego collection, they already have the Kendra bag on clearance? So that's one of those seasonal releases. Get it early. You won't find that print again in the Dooney collection. So if the Montego or the Siesta prints are something that you're interested in, now is the time to start picking that up, because it's going to phase out. And by the time we get to the summer, those bags will be really difficult to find. So if there's a style that catches your eye, whether it's the gym bag or whether it's a page sack, I would absolutely say go ahead and pick one of those up. And if the Kendra is what you're interested in, take a look at QVC, because it was on clearance during yesterday's airing. There was one other I still have not placed the replacement order for the boat shoes that I purchased from Dooney, because it took them so stinking long to give me my credit back. And unlike, you know, other companies, I wasn't able to switch from women's to men's, change size, and keep the color. So I've just not placed that yet, but I absolutely need to, because I want to have those for the meetup next month. Nothing exciting going on Dooney.com this weekend. No sales, no promos, no promotional codes. The same thing on I Love Dooney. I didn't really find anything there that was make me pull my credit card out, but there are definitely some new additions that are sneaking into the what's new or the new arrivals section. So make sure that you're checking that out. And also, there again, bags like the little tassel bag that's now being released as a crossbody. That bag silhouette is not new. The only difference is now it's got that cross body strap, you know, so that you can actually change the carrying profile of the bag. So make sure that you're shopping your collection at least until the meetup, and enjoy what you have in your collection. And I know I'm the last person in the world that should probably be preaching that when I have bags that have been in my collection for 8 years that still have the tags on them. But at some point you do have to take stop and take an assessment of what's working, what do I really like. Is that profile going to work for me? Is that size going to work for me? Is that silhouette going to work for me? Is that shoulder strap drop going to work for me? And is it a color that I'm going to carry and use, or is it something that when I put my hands on it, I'm going to just decide to pull something else? So I'm in that space right now where I am evaluating what I value most in my collection. I'm still not at the point of coordinating a sale, but I am starting to kind of sort and develop my own bag characteristics preference, and have noticed that there are some bags that I just won't gravitate to, which was something that I talked about in my previous live stream. So I'm rambling now. I have stuff to go do, and I'm sure that there are things. No, Vader, I did not buy the last TSV because it was a north-south silhouette instead of an east-west. And from the Roxy bag out of the Riley collection, I just realized that that profile doesn't work for me because of the height of the bag. The leather has a tendency to kind of cave in on itself, and that is highly frustrating for me. So I liked the bag. I love the accessory piece that they did with the most recent TSV, but it wasn't something that I picked up because of the north-south silhouette. And it also wasn't very wide. I think it was the Lillian TSV. It's probably been maybe 2 years ago. I picked that one up, and the bag was very narrow. And you've seen what I carry in my bag. It is not, it just wouldn't have worked out for me. So the first opportunity I get to purchase that little wristlet, I will absolutely be picking that up. But I didn't pick up the TSV for those reasons. Let's see. I hear basketball outside in front of my house. There's this little boy that lives, and he's probably in the 7th grade, but he's small. And his sister, he runs track, so he's always out in the neighborhood, and you just don't see kids in my neighborhood. But he'll be outside running because he runs track for school. And his little sister, his mom, started making his little sister run with him, and she's a couple grades behind him, and she's absolutely going to be a track star herself because she gives him a run for his money. But this time of year, you hear the basketball through the neighborhood because he will make the lap in the neighborhood, constantly just dribbling so that he's ready for his games at the end of the week. So they are going back to school this week. They were all out on spring break this past week, and I'm sure he's getting ready for practice. So if you hear that thumping noise in the background, it's just the kids outside. All right, I'm looking through the comments, and I think that I have covered everything. Rosalind, how do you like the Bren? I see that you say you got it in 2 colors, geranium and blue. Just looking through again the comments. Oh, I'm good. I'm glad that the closure, Vader, is easy. It looks, I really like it. It seems like it's, you know, glides very easy. I really like it. I'm also, it seems like I don't know, I guess I need to see it in person again, something from the Emerson collection, because when Sue Clifton talks about the bag having a wax coating on it, and then the other day they said that it felt like velvet, I just really need to feel that myself and to try to get a feel for what is this bag going to do as the leather ages. Is it going to soften? Is it gonna, you know, is it gonna puddle after a while? Is it gonna start caving in on itself because of the way they've processed the leather? Or is it going to be a more structured leather like the Alto leather that will absolutely hold its shape and its structure and just gets better and better over time, but is still processed in a way that it will stay, you know, kind of stiff, I guess is the only way that I can say it. So yeah, Jody, I understand what she said, and when I think about wax, I think, well, it's not going to be that same coating that you would get with like patent leather, but you know, is it, yeah, I saw, is it going to peel? Absolutely. Is it going to peel? Is it going to show like excessive pebbling after a while? Because that's one of the things about the city leather, is if you have seen, the city leather is extremely soft, but there are spots, and I've got my flask here, but there are places where the leather on the city collection will look like this pebbled leather here on my Dooney flask, thanks to the purse fairy. But it's not supposed to pebble. It's supposed to be like a smooth, soft glove leather, but it's not supposed to have texture to it. And it appears that sometimes when you don't get a good quality one, it's like there's a coating over it and you see that pebbling underneath. So I just need to see it again and maybe spend a little bit of time studying it to try to figure out what that leather is actually going to do once it has some wear to it. Yeah, the nail marks. Now, Sue did say that if you get scratches or whatever in it, very similar to Florentine, that you should be able to just kind of buff it out with your finger. But if, I'm just thinking, if you've ever like scraped your nail across like a candle, for example, because that's what I have in mind when I think of a wax coating over it. I think of a wax candle, and I've never been able to, with just rubbing from my finger, to smooth out a dent that I've made in a candle if I've accidentally run my nail across it. So I don't know what that's going to look like, because Florentine doesn't have a coating over it. So I can understand that, right? If you scratch your arm and maybe you're not quite moisturized or hydrated, you can rub your skin and get that, you know, mark to kind of go away. That's what happens with Florentine. But again, it doesn't have a coating over it, so I'm not sure what happens when a bag has waxed leather coating over it. It just, I don't know. I like the collection, but that description raised my eyebrows. Yep. I think we're all on the same page, because I think we just need to see it in person. So fingers crossed that there will be a few of those pieces at the outlet when we go. So that we can not only dissect it, but take advantage of some of the discounts and promotions that I'm sure will be going on during that time. It's funny, Ivana and Joshie and I were having a conversation. We're like, so many Dooney addicts in an outlet store with limited inventory at one time. How do you decide who's going to get what? Because you know sometimes they only have like 1 or 2 bags, and we're a close group and we have some differences in what we like and dislike, but from a quality standpoint, we all have pretty high expectations on what a bag, you know, what's an acceptable quality. So it just, I feel sorry for the SAs that will be working that weekend, because they have no clue what is about to happen to them when we pounce on them at the store. So yeah, we have called them, and we're working through some things there with them in hopes that they will be ready for us when we arrive. So I think it'll be lots of fun, and even if you don't buy anything, just the fact that the people that we have been interacting with as much as we all do in the comment sections, during live streams, in, you know, direct messages on Instagram, on Twitter, just to be able to take those friendships that we've forged here on YouTube and then actually export them into real life. I think that's going to be a pretty amazing experience. So I'm rambling, y'all. I have work that I need to do before I'm sitting down to watch TV. I need to get some clothes ready for work tomorrow. I have no clue what I'm going to cook for dinner. So I have some stuff I need to do, and I'm sure that you do too. So on that note, thank you so very much for watching. If you are not subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the little bell before you head out from the live stream. We're here on Sunday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m.-ish. And this is just what we do. This is our kickoff to the beginning of the week, wrap up from the end of the week, and all we're doing is talking about our beloved Dooney and Bourke. So thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, I do hope that you're finding something that feeds your Dooney addiction. Take care.